Hey everybody, how you doing? It's the 18th of December and it's 12 midday here in the UK, which means that it's also the 18th day of our Advent calendar promotion. Hope you are all well. Hope you are joining us. So yes, so 12 midday here, which means very early in the morning in the US, but hopefully you're able to join us on this broadcast. So good to see you. Who's with us? Jeremiah, brilliant. Paul, fantastic. Good to see you up there. That's great. A few other people joining us. I'm going to start today's broadcast with a little apology for yesterday, and I'll explain what I mean. Richie, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Derek, good to have you with us as well. And Lorraine, of course, lovely to see you. Gary, how you doing? Fantastic. Listen, everybody, this is what we did yesterday. So yesterday, if you were with us, you will remember that we did that cocktail, and I asked you to submit your names for the cocktail. And the idea was, if you submit, you get 10 bonus entries into our Highland Park competition, and then I would pick a winner from that, and we would name the cocktail after that, and then I'd give that person a certificate. Look, there were all sorts of problems with the site. A lot of people were trying to enter the names, and it wasn't letting them. We have sorted that out now, but because of all those problems, what I've decided to do is I'm letting that run for another 24 hours. So if you weren't able to get your name in and get your bonus entries yesterday, you'll be able to pick up on that today. So hopefully that satisfies everyone. I'm really sorry for the problems. I got to be honest, we are great at whiskey. We're not geniuses when it comes to the technical stuff. So, but we think we got that sorted now. So apologies, but thank you for being with us. Who else is with us? Alan, brilliant to see you. Jason, how you doing? Jonathan, Manda, how are you all doing? And Mike as well. Brilliant to see you guys here. So look, this is what I've thought of for today. I'm gonna be giving you some garnish ideas for cocktails. I guess this is not strictly whiskey related, but it is whiskey related if you're doing it for whiskey cocktails. I just think that there's a few things that we can do to make our drinks look better, and I thought if I share these ideas with you, and they're really simple things to do, but it should give you a bit of an understanding of why we do what we do and how we do it. You can also use them to garnish any drink that you decide to make over Christmas. I guess except a straight whiskey or whiskey rocks or whiskey with a little bit of water. I think it needs no garnish, but when we're talking about cocktails, definitely some ideas for you. Kevin, how are you? Good to see you too. Indiana, fantastic. Finally made it to a live one. Thank you for joining us. And Norman, brilliant. Good to see you here. So I'm going to take you through a few garnishes, and I'm going to explain what we do. Now, what I have in front of me clearly is not a glass of whiskey. It's actually a martini, which is a gin cocktail. But the reason why I've got it here is I want to show you what a twist is, because there is a lot of misunderstanding about the idea of adding a twist to a drink. So a twist with a martini or a twist with a whiskey cocktail or whatever. So I'm just going to show you how it works. The idea of a twist is to get the citrus oils out of the skin of a citrus fruit and onto the surface of the drink. That's what it's about. It's not actually about dropping a piece of peel into a drink. Let me show you how it works. Really, really simple. What you need, in this case I'm using a lemon, is you need a pretty fresh and ripe lemon, because if it's an old one or a dry one, you're not going to have as many oils in the skin. And you just cut a piece of skin, and don't be sort of mean with this. Get a nice piece of skin. There we go. That's about, can you see what I've taken off of there? A nice decent piece. I can already smell the oils here, but the idea is to do this. Let me bring the glass in a bit closer. Is that okay, everybody? Is that a good position? Okay, you hold it outside down. So we don't want the white pithy bit. We want the yellow bit facing over the drink. And then when I twist that piece of peel, and I twist it like that, and I'm guessing you can't see this on the screen, but what happens is the oils spray onto the surface of the drink, and that is the twist. The idea is that now when I pick this drink up, the first thing that I'm hit by is that intense lemon zestiness. That's the idea of a twist. Now, if you choose thereafter to take this piece of peel and drop it in the drink, or hang it over the edge, that's absolutely fine. But the key to the twist is the oils on the surface of the drink. So I'm actually going to just drop that in because that looks sort of cute. And I'm going to move that out of the way and to the side. So that is twist number 1. See if anybody else has joined us. Shane, good to see you. Good to see you. By the way, any questions? Pop them in there and I will try and answer them as we go along. Actually, I'm going to bring this back for a second and I'm going to show you something that I think a friend of mine, colleague of mine introduced. I'm pretty sure he's responsible for it. A lot of people say that other people are responsible for it, but I think it was his idea, and it is probably one of the greatest living bartenders of our age. When I say greatest living, there are people in history who are fabulous and influential, but this guy, whose name is Dale DeGroff, he's very much still around. Nice guy. I bumped into him, funnily enough, at the Whiskey Show in London just about a month or so back, and looking as good as ever. But he introduced this idea of a flamed orange twist, and I'm going to show you how that works. So same idea. This time I'm going to take a piece of orange peel, a nice big piece, like so. Let's get that off there. So I've got my piece of orange peel. But this time, instead of just spraying the oils over the surface of the drink, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray them through a flame. The flame will make them explode a little bit, not really explode, but you'll see the oils burning through the flame, and then the oils land on the drink, which gives you a burnt orange smell, which is absolutely delicious, and especially around Christmas. And by the way, if you do this in front of your friends and family, there's a great bit of theatre to it as well, so you can just sort of show off your skills. Let me see if I've got my lighter. So you can do this with a lighter or a match. I actually tend to use a match more often, but I'll be honest with you, ran out of matches, so I'm using a lighter. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the flame going, and I'm just going to heat the skin a little bit over that, and then I'm going to give it a little squeeze on both sides, and it will spray the oils through the flame like so. Did you get that? Do it again. There we go. And the idea is that they create the flare, the oils burn, the gas from the lighter disappears off into the air, but the oils drop onto the surface of the drink. And now what you get, wow, is real burnt orange, which is fabulous all year round, but actually at Christmas is spectacular. Okay, so that's garnish number 2. Let's pop this to the side and see if anybody else is with us at the moment. Ernest, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Like I say, any questions, pop them in there. So next thing that I've got for you is what I call an orange cherry S, and it's a great one if you just want to make something really simple. You can prepare these in advance. You can put them in a little plastic box, and then when you've done your cocktails, you can just drop them onto the top, and it sort of makes them look really sort of cocktail bar-ish. This is what we need. We need some maraschino cherries. There we go. I've got some in that little jar there. And we need our orange again as well. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my chopping board up on to the top of the bar so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got I've got a sharp knife and I've got my orange here. And what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to cut halfway through from top to bottom, like so. Let's pop that on the side. And then I'm going to cut a slice. I'm just going to cut the end off here. Oh, see, you can't see that properly. Let's bring it back a bit. And then I'm going to cut a slice of orange like so. So I've got something just like that. Now I'm going to cut a few of those because I'm probably going to prepare some a little bit later as well because we're having a few drinks at Dream Whiskies HQ. Let's pop those there. And I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to take my cherries, let's bring the cherries up, and I'm going to get a cocktail stick. And the idea is that I want to thread orange, cherry, orange, cherry, orange. So it goes like this. I put the cocktail stick through the top end of the pith like so. There we go. I then take one of the cherries and I thread that on like this. So now we've got cherry and then the orange. And now to create the S, I wrap the orange around and I pop the stick back through that little piece of pith there. So now we've got that shape. I take another cherry and pop it on there. And then I take the last bit of the orange skin, and the idea is to pop it through the end piece of the pith, like so. And then you end up with this little S. We call it a sort of orange cherry S. And what you do is quite simple. You prepare these in advance if you're doing drinks for all your friends. and then you get your cocktail. This is an orange and whiskey based cocktail, and then you just hang that over the edge like so, and then you serve. Let's see if I can bring this. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tip the screen down so you can see from above, and that's how that would look. There you go. Nice and simple. A nice easy one to do. Let's pop that over there and bring you guys back up here where I can see you. Any questions we got? John's just saying very interesting. Good. I'm glad you think it's interesting. And Richard, hi matey, back at you as well. All right. Now this is quite an interesting technique coming up. It's something that I guess everyone has seen before, but often what happens is people make a bit of a mess. This is the idea of putting a salt rim or a sugar rim on the edge of a glass. Now, it's a really simple technique to mess up, and I'm going to show you how to do it so that you never mess up and you get them looking 100% and proper world-class professional in terms of how tight it is across that edge of the glass. So first things first, I'm going to need a glass. Let's get one of these. This will do fine. I'm also going to get some sugar. So I'm putting a sugar rim on this. And what I have here in my plate is granulated sugar. You can use caster sugar. In actual fact, you can use all sorts of things. So for example, we're working on a cocktail at the moment where we're putting a rim of actual crushed hazelnuts on there. So we crush the hazelnuts down, we make a pile like this. It's the same idea. Same technique for all of them. So let me just put my sugar there. I need to drop that down so you can see what's going on. Are we good, everybody? Is that good? And then the key to making sure that the rim of sugar stays on the rim of the glass and doesn't start dragging down or falling down the inside is how you get that edge wet. Now, some people try to put it in a sponge and wet it or put some water on it or sometimes syrup, but I find the very best thing to use is citrus fruit. So I've already got this orange. You can use a lemon or a lime, by the way. I've already got this orange, which you saw me cut open just before. And the idea is rather than rub this around the edge, which is hard to control the line that it takes, is I take my glass and I just run the edge of the glass into the citrus fruit. And I'm keeping the edge there, but I'm swiveling the glass. Hopefully you can see that. And eventually what happens is that becomes just wet on the edge there. And now I just put it straight into the sugar, like so, give it a little shake. And what you end up with is a really nice, fine sugar rim on that glass. There you go. That's it. Now, if you want to try this at home, have a little bit of a practice first, just to get it so that you can balance the edge in that citrus fruit. But what you do is if you're making cocktails where you serve them in a glass with a sugar rim or a salt rim or a crushed hazelnut rim or whatever, you actually have to do that first. You can't obviously put the cocktail in there and then put the rim on afterwards. So just remember that. You need to prepare that in advance. Okay, let's move my sugar out the way. Who else do we have here? Sue, love that. Thank you. Richard, has that elf in the back of you ever been naughty? This elf has been creating some real problems for us over the last 18 days. We've actually managed to get him to sit down just for once, thank goodness. Indiana, limited run rare whiskies, drink them or keep them. Oh, okay, so we're on to the whiskies. Limited run rare whiskies, do we drink them, do we keep them? Look, my view is this, is that whatever you decide is right. Okay, you have a school of thought where people say you should keep them because they're rare and they will increase in value, etc., and that's right for them. And if you think, you know, this is a limited run rare whiskey, it's my only opportunity to taste it and enjoy it. It's not going to be around again in 6 months or 6 years or whatever. Dive in and drink it. I'll be honest with you, in my own collection of whiskies, I do have a small number that have remained unopened. And that's mainly because I think they're really special whiskies and I'm probably waiting for the right time to drink them. But from a personal point of view, I think we should drink them. I mean, you know, once we're gone and the whiskey's still there, then somebody else might open it and drink it. So up to you. But I guess if you're investing in it, which a lot of people do, then you probably want to keep hold of them for a while, for sure. Jennifer, good afternoon to you. James, such a good idea. Thank you, James. Good to see you. James, one of our early main winners as well. So I hope you're well, James. John, another trip around the sun today for me. Excellent. And Mike, the elf not having a whiskey. No, the elf is trying to sober up from the other day. We had some real problems with him after the broadcast. James, still not opened your prize. Okay, so look, James won one of our very early prizes in one of our main competitions, and he's saying, as far as he's concerned, he's still keeping hold of it. So there you go, there you go. Right, what have I got for you? Let me just wash my hands, because my hands have just got a little bit sticky from handling those cherries earlier on. I'm going to come on to, actually, it's the last garnish that I've got for you, but this is a really simple one. I mean, probably the most simple of them all, but actually really effective. In particular, around about the time of Valentine's Day, or if you're having a romantic night with someone, or it's somebody's birthday, etc. What we're going to do, I'm just going to take this drink here, which is a whiskey and cranberry bitters mix that we've got on the go. And the reason why I picked this, just because it's the right sort of color. I'm going to show you something that we can do with a strawberry that's going to be relatively inspired, I think. Yes, inspired is the word I'm looking for. Let's move all these glasses out of the way. I think this is the busiest our bar has been since we've been doing these broadcasts, hasn't it? Let's bring this up, and I'm going to get a strawberry. Let's pick, I've got a sort of punnet of strawberries here. Let's pick a nice one. I think this one actually looks quite nice. Here we go. So this is just about putting what I call a strawberry heart on the side of the drink. What I'd like to do, first of all, is if you've got any of the stalk and the leaves in place, I like to keep them there in place, and I'd like to sort of pick them up like so that they stand proud a little bit, because we want those showing. And this has actually got a long stalk on it, which I quite like, actually. Now, the idea is really simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the side, or rather just wide of the center line on both sides of the strawberry, just leaving the center piece. So here we go. Let's see if I can do it from the position that you are watching. So I'm just going to cut this one like this. Let's take that off. That one's still attached. Let's get that off. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side of the center line. Let's do the same thing there. And by doing that, again, let's just take that. Let's pop those to the side. By doing that, oops, what I've left myself is a sort of heart shape with the strawberry. I've still got some of the leaves on the top, which I think can look quite pretty. Like I said, this one's got quite a long stalk. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small cut in the bottom here. So let's give that a little cut, like so. And I'm just going to pop it on the side of the glass. And there we go. It's a really simple garnish. But actually, don't you think, for something like Valentine's Day, and especially if you've got anything pink or actually creamy, or really the sky's the limit, you can do what you want. It's a way of taking a very simple piece of fruit and giving a sophisticated garnish, which says, I love you. So those are our 5 garnishes for today. Let's put them there. Who else is with us? Let's have a look. Francis, drunk up, love it, yes. James is going to open his prize soon. You've got to let us know when you open it, and let us know what you think about it, James. An artist at work, thank you, Helena. And Richie is in the Lakes Distillery, fantastic. They give 2 miniatures every year, so I can taste it without having to open the main bottle, which is good. Love that, love that. We are hoping to hook up with the Lakes Distillery at some point in 2019. The people at Lakes don't know that at the moment, but we have a contact that gets on with them pretty well. So we're going to try and hook up with them with a bit of luck, and hopefully do something with them in 2019 as well. Right, so look, a couple of things. I've got another message from Gary. Gary is one of our fans, one of the community, if you like. You might remember that he posted online about 2 or 3 days ago about some offers that are available. He's put another post on our Facebook page. And there's an offer for an Altavane, which would normally be single malt. Altavane would normally be around 30 to 33, 34 pounds. It's currently down at 25 pounds. If you're watching in the US or outside the UK, I'm really sorry, but it's just Gary sharing it with the community. So go and check it out. You can find it on our post page. You go to posts, you go on the right-hand side, and you look at guest posts, and you'll find a link for it there. So thank you for that, Gary. Really appreciate you sharing that. And then the other thing that I've got to tell you is tomorrow's broadcast. So tomorrow's broadcast, we're going to get back into giving something away, not just these wonderful tips that I've been giving away today, but it's much later tomorrow. So tomorrow's is going to be at 8 p.m. UK time. That's 8 in the evening UK time. which I think is about 3 in the afternoon, Eastern time in the US. So please work it out, depending on where you are in the world, and come and join us then. We have something quite exciting for you. And Mark Kane, before we go on, the Botanist Gin is only £25 on Amazon today, right? If you're looking for Botanist Gin, take advantage of Mark's little tip there. Once again, thank you, as always, for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. Loving the fact that we're creating a community around these live broadcasts. We will be back tomorrow with day 19. Until then, have a fantastic day, and I will see you then.